All right. In this installation of the videos, we are going to look at the skills. This has got to be the one thing that surprised me the most in this game. I knew already that money would get you the armor and the guns, which is completely unfair versus someone who starts the game who doesn't have that economy. You know, the Bitcoin farm and knowing what things are worth and selling all of this and fueling your build. But on top of that, your guy sucks. He fucking sucks. He is level 1 in everything. He can barely run. He needs to eat and drink all the time. He can't take what is it? He will break his legs more. He will dehydrate faster. He'll get pain shock. He'll get screwed up. And you can barely make it to the extraction and you're wondering what you did wrong. So much. Right? The truth is you need to level him up, or with the experience, it's going to level him up. And so the first tactical things to level up here, we can look at the skills first and try to understand what they are. The first two here are endurance and strength. They will allow you to run more and faster. That's so unfair, right? Run faster and run more. Good news is we can train them passively. Show you how. Train them. We just need to make sure that we are equipped properly, and we will always train them. And it doesn't need to cost that much, and it doesn't need to be overwhelming either. But you can already tell by leveling these up is going to give you an incredible advantage over other players who don't level them up. And you would be surprised the number of players who'd never focused a little bit to try to understand how to level these up within a month or two. And once you reach the elite level of these things, they start giving you additional bonuses. But not only do they give you incremental bonus as you level up, like this one, for example, every level gives you like an additional percentage. But once you reach level 51, which is the elite level, it's going to double everything or something like that. And it's just out of control, I think. But hey, no, I think it's fairly balanced. But it's quite the bonus. It's quite the bonus. This one here, for example, increases your stamina, which is already increased, by an additional 75%, almost a double of stamina at the very end here. Increased hand endurance. Decrease jump stamina drain. So it's less energy to jump. When you jump, it takes less of your stamina by a lot. You can hold your breath, which is when you aim. You press Alt to steady your aim. And at the elite level, it's independent of energy, so that's why I didn't notice a difference. So anyway, I think I've sold you on leveling up. So strength and endurance will be leveled up together and will give you more speed and more running, mostly. Amongst other combat things, of course. The health here increases kind of by itself a lot. I didn't notice what I'm doing, except maybe just healing. I'm not even sure. We can look into that once we dive into them. Vitality and stress resistance have everything to do with taking damage, repairing that damage, going into combat against players and taking that damage. Even dying, you will still level them up. I'm actually focusing on this these days on my stream. Metabolism is when you eat, you'll basically dehydrate less and reach level 0 energy less. Immunity is kind of buggy. I don't need it right now. Perception, attention, intellect, charisma have everything to do with searching for loot in the boxes. And if you want to level them up, including charisma, you have to take things. So as you can see, there's 3 categories. Strength, endurance for your running. Vitality, stress resistance for combat and taking damage. Health, metabolism for your own vitality and staying into healthy levels. And then perception, attention, intellect, charisma for searching. Okay. So the first thing, endurance and strength. How do you level them up? You level strength only when you're overweight. Your weight here needs to be yellow. So what I like to do is go into the game yellow. And to do that, my preferred way to do it, because there's different ways. You can carry more weight. So how do you go about carrying more weight? One of the main ways to do that is to carry heavy things. One of the heaviest item in the game per square is the SAS drive. It weighs 0.8 kilos per square. The other heavier thing is the SSD drive, which is half a kilo per square. Because most other items will be even smaller, 0.3 kilos. And the heaviest thing is a pack of 20 shotgun shells. So if you do 20 times this, right? Let's round this to 0.06. 20 times 0.06 is going to be 1.2 kilos per square. So you'll see a lot of players carry a bunch of these on themselves. Sometimes they'll have like a lot, like they'll fill their whole backpack with it and their vest, and that increases your weight. The problem that I have with this is that every time you die, you have to buy it all again. And it doesn't cost that much, maybe 5 Tau, 6 Tau, 10 Tau, 1,000. But if you do that for a month or two, I'm sure there is a way to do that that would save you more money. So let's find out what they are. By the way, we will be using the shotgun shells in the final build, because sometimes you're just missing that extra 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound to get there, and we use the shotgun shells to do that. So let me show you how I did that. Let's look at the SAS drives again. So the SAS drives, you don't want to be carrying here because they cost a lot of cash. By the way, this is something you want to start thinking about once you reach level 10 and you can go in the market and buy them. So SAS drives, I find a good price around 40,000 to be a decent price for SAS drive. Actually a cheap price. Earlier in the wipe, they will go for 60,000 or even 80,000 because player will buy a bunch and it will bring the price to 80,000. So you kind of wait till the price goes down. Once you see it's around the 40,000, 45,000, you should go ahead and buy a few SAS drives and start building your SAS drive file. Let's buy a few, for example, here. Kind of make it look like I'm building my my weight. We're not going to go any further. We'll leave someone else the opportunity. And what you want now is a documents case. You get one of those from your missions. But if you can just play a few games and just buy one for, you know, whatever the cost is, half a million sometimes. Okay, let's just buy one. 200,000. And we know how much 100,000 is easy to make. Right? We just went into a scav run and got out and got 100,000. So it's not going to be that hard to get something like this. Plus, this is really useful because you can fit 16 slots and the SAS drives happen to go in the dog's case. What you do is you put a bunch of SAS drives in there, and you can tell here at the corner that my weight starts increasing considerably. All right. And the reason why I chose this is because you can put it into your case. Now, your case is going to be smaller. You're going to have to make a choice. I own the alpha case, right? I just couldn't buy one because it cost like, I don't know, something to buy it again. But in your alpha case, you'll literally have like, say, that much space left. You're going to put your document case full of SAS drives, and you might already be overweight after you have a gun and an armor or whatever. If you are not overweight and you're training your weight, and maybe at that point, maybe after you're level 10, etc., you have access to the market, and you're kind of able to make money enough to fuel this venture of leveling up your strength and endurance. But we're leveling up the strength. Stick with me, chat. So a folder full of this will give you about 20 kilos or 13, 15 kilos. I used to have 2 of these, but then it would fill out both the slots of my case. I don't do that anymore. There's another way. Look on the market for armor that will enable you to carry things, but is still very heavy. Right? So for example, the Zook is one of my preferred armor when we start, and it weighs 5 kilos. You can actually find an armor that is pretty cheap that will weigh more. 7 kilos. The 6B13. 30,000. 10.5 kilos. Interesting. So 10.5 kilos, and then you need a vest if you want a vest. But as soon as you put that on, you're adding 10 kilos. Let me show you another one. So these are just armor. I'm looking for a vest armor. Why can I not find them? Tactical rigs. So some of these have armor. The 6B5 is 12 kilos. Okay. 40,000, and it's armor 4. And it comes with pockets. You can put additional things in there, or additional magazines for your guns. You're getting me here? Instead of buying an additional vest, you actually get all of this for 40,000 or something. And that's armor 4. The This other one here is less interesting, the pale one, because it's only 7 kilos instead of 12 kilos. And it's also costing more, and it's actually less armor. So let's not mix them two, okay? That's about it for the cheap heavy armor. The other one that I liked, let me show you real quick, is the Untar, the very blue one. That's 11 kilos, but it's also very cheap, right? 30,000. And you need to use this sometimes for quests. And when you do, that basically allows you to do a quest and be overweight at the same time, training you as you're hunting for scavs. So this is an amazing time to train your strength during those quests. So you're actually doing a lot, even if you die, for very cheap. So you would put that here in the container, like that. You would have the vest. Let me delete this. Let's get the Wintar, for example. Boom. Now you'll notice that my guy doesn't care about what he puts on anymore, because I'm the elite in my skill, so it doesn't matter what I have on. But it would literally bring your weight to about 23, 25 after a weapon. Right. And that would make your weight orange. And then every time you're going to make a step, you're going to be increasing your strength. You want to increase your endurance, you need to also be running and walking for about 3 kilometers or so per map, which just means running, but not overweight. So this is being overweight. This is not being overweight. I would start with strength because it takes space in your case. When you're done training your strength, you can take this out, free up some space, and then have more space for a CMS kit, some meds, right? Like in the normal case, you can run like, I don't know, meds and dogs. That way, if you get hit, you can heal, continue, and then you also train your weight. That was my way of doing it. So a SAS documents case, a rig that would be heavy enough, which is not this. And as you train your weight, you're going to need a little more weight. You can always go in and fetch a few shotgun packs of 20 and just put it in your backpack, increasing your weight. And go in like that. All right. Well, that's going to be that for the weights training, which I think everybody should be doing. After that, we're going to talk about like a basic guy setup that's kind of cheap that will enable you to do most of everything you need to be taken care of so that you don't die before you get to the finish line. So what does a good setup look like? Okay,